What is up, everybody? Who's John Gill here? Hey, how are you guys? I've done a little bit of discussion so far on Sylvans, things that you can do right now with the deck. I'm going to show you guys my deck profile of what I've been playing. I've been having decent success with it, with all the testing, blah. That's all I'm going to really say. I haven't been to any majors with it yet. The deck hasn't been out enough for me to travel to a major. But I'll just show you what I'm working with. Definitely 3 Hermitries. The dude is way too good. You put 2 or 3 of them on a field if you get to combo, much less you get to exceed with him because he's a rank 8. He's a fire to help something else. Obviously, most of you will probably know what that is. And even when you excavate him, he helps you fix dead hands. So I love him to death. Dude's awesome. You probably need to play 2 or 3. I am only playing 2 Sylvan Flower Knights. I cut it down to 2 to make room for a couple of other things. I do love 3, and I would love to put 3 back in here, but for now I'm only going to play 2. This is Pre-Primal Origins. After Primal Origins comes out, I'm going to be more okay with playing 2 of a lot of these guys, just like Martial Leaf. I just dropped him from 3 to 2 from my last build because I'm trying to fit room for other stuff, and you'll see what. Martial Leaf is great. It sucks only having 2 in your resources throughout the whole entire game just to pop 2 monsters, but usually that's enough because you can always make a couple of Exceed monsters, and you're not really worried about it. Coma Shroomo, the only reason I kept 3 in here was because he's a fire and the 2000 defense, and the Milling 5. The Milling 5, or the Excavating 5, really fixes a lot of boo-boo hands that you can open with, or a lot of dead hands. So he's in there for now until we get some draw stuff. Peacekeeper. I kept Peacekeeper in at 3 for a couple of reasons. He's wind to help something, obviously. And I hated when I was testing, when I played only 2, opening handing 1 or 2 of these and not being able to go through, unless, to think in my head, I have to play Plague Spreader Zombie, or I have to play, what's the Sylvan Trap card, just to put this back on the top of my deck. And so that means my bad hand now depends on another bad card to fix it. So I just opened it to 3. If I draw them, oh the fuck well. I should at least get 1 off every single game. So far I have gotten 1 off every single game, to bring back a Lone Fire, to bring back whatever I needed. So yeah, and then also if you mill him early while you're trying to set up with Coma Shroomo or something, just a random excavation of him, it's not that bad. He's a blocker and you excavate an extra card, so it just pushes through your deck a little bit more. Up next, the obvious 2 Lone Fires. That's it for the Sylvans. The obvious 2 Lone Fires. I am sticking with the Dandelion, although I still don't think it's very necessary, but for what I'm playing, I'm gonna keep it in there. Spore, only 1 Spore because you can only do it 1 per game, duh. 2 Copy Plants. Dude is amazing. You can 1 for 1 into him. You can copy and exceed a rank 8. You can copy and synchro into whatever. It's really good. Up next, Debris Dragon. I'm obviously going to play him because I'm going to play Tempest and Blaster as well. Like I said, I'm playing a bunch of winds and a bunch of fires. I'm trying to max out on as many as I can. So that's what I got so far. That's it for the monsters. If you'll notice, I'm not playing Titanial. I do not like her somewhat. I had a trade-in build going for a little while. I think that puts me at like 8 or 9 fires, and I think a 2 less count on wins, like a 1 or 2 less count on wins. So either 7 or 8 wins, or 8 or 9 fires. That keeps the Blaster and the Tempest pretty live. You usually do them 2 or 3 times every game. As long as you draw them. I have played games where I didn't draw either of them, which sucks, but that's what Foolish Burial is for. You'll see that. I do like banishing the Tempest to get the Debris for a play with Blaster, which is okay. I would rather not have to do that, but if I have to, it's there. The option is definitely there. I did not include Redox or Tidal. I decided to drop some of the Earths. I'm playing 3 Earths and 2 Waters. That's it. Everything else is Wind and Fire. So up next, Mount Sylvania. It's going to be my go-to. I want to draw this. I can't wait until we have Sylvan Charity, obviously, Primal Origins. You get one of these, it makes your games much, much easier. It fixes bad hands, it makes better hands amazing. It's stupid. Giving you the consistency to draw an extra card 2 times a turn or 3 times a turn with Sylvan Hermitry by using this, putting this guy on the top, milling, drawing, triggering his effect, putting something else on top, getting another Hermitry, milling, drawing, or excavating, drawing, whatever, triggering another effect. It's really good. You can just loop a little bit like that. 3 Miracle Fertilizer. I love it. There's nothing. You almost never need a normal summon unless you're have a Debris Dragon. You have to normal summon a tuner, like you have a pretty bad hand or something. But even with a bad hand, this bounces you back from a bad hand the following turn, as long as you survive, that is. So, much less it makes better hands better. So, to an extent, it's a win more card, but only when you get really greedy and draw 2 or 3 of them. So, you usually only need to draw 1, but without Sylvan Charity, I'm going to max out on 3, because there's certain things I want to see, like this and Mount Sylvania. I'm doing 2 reasonings. Every time I got a bad hand, or I lost because I only had 1 excavation play and it got blown out, or it got negated, or something stupid, I didn't have an option, a reasoning would have solved that. All I have to do is play a reasoning and hope for the best. Yes, I can hit something completely shitty, like Komashrumo or Martial Leaf, but even if I hit Flower Knight, he's okay, he's a beater, but Hermitry, hitting Hermitry is amazing. Peacekeeper, I'd rather not, but you at least excavate another card. You really want to get Lone Fire, Dandelion, Spore, Copy Plant, one of the Daddy Dragons, or Hermitry, obviously. But you have so many different levels in here, they're not going to call it. If they get used to reasoning in this deck, they're probably going to call 8s. So if you play reasoning, you actually hit an 8, you get to reorder the top 3. So if you had another play in your hand that was just a crapshoot play like normal summon Martial Leaf or normal summon Flower Knight, you can then use that to set up the top 3 so you don't have a crappy play. So either way, I like reasoning a lot. It'll push through a lot of your deck. 1 for 1 in Foolish Burial. They're just way too versatile. 1 for 1 getting your Copy Plant or your Spore. Even a Peacekeeper if you really need to excavate something and get a non-tuner, which I have been in that situation. Very few times, but I have. The Foolish Burial, it gets anything. It gets the Spore, the Dandelion. It gets a Hermitry, so you can begin an instant combo if you open Foolish Burial, Mount Sylvania, and Miracle Fertilizer. You just start popping off, and you have to have another plant for that, but you'll draw 2 or 3 extra cards with Sylvan Hermitries. You can also Foolish Lone Fire if you really have to. There's a lot of things. So I'm only playing 2 MSTs. This build was getting a lot more consistent to get the Komashurumos out. So I'm excavating Komashurumos a lot more and resolving them a lot more, as well as me playing 2 Raigeki breaks. So with Raigeki breaks, the more consistency and I could just drop MST to make one more slot. So I pretty much converted an MS2 to a Raigeki break because I was having trouble with monsters and I wanted some more defense. So I played a couple of Phoenix Chains as well. And I'm also playing 2 Call of the Haunteds. I do not like the Sylvan trap card. Sort of. It's amazing. It is a little bit like, if you guys remember when Dark Worlds first came out, the structure deck, to me that Sylvan trap card seems like a watered down version of Ceruli. It makes bad hands a little worse, and it makes good hands a little better. That's all it does. So I would rather play Call of the Haunted with the chance that I can Call of the Haunted a Lone Fire. A lot of the times with that Sylvan trap card, I didn't have a Hermitry, or I didn't have something else to bring out. Call of the Haunted at least lets me get anything. I can get a Daddy Dragon, Debris if I fucking have to. I can get anything. I like it a lot more. So that's all I can say about that. And also, they're more MST targets, so I can kind of distract people from the Field Spell and the Fertilizers. So a lot of MST targets. I've been trying to do that a little more. Up next, I'll show you my extra deck. I'm only playing 1 Alcé. You only really need 1. If he comes out and resolves once or twice, or if you set it up so you can resolve it on your turn and their turn, you're fucking broken good. If you have him in a set Call of the Haunted, flip Call, bring back Peacekeeper, excavate a card, you're just set, especially if you had a Sylvania on the field. So you're going to Wing Blast on your turn and on their turn. That's over. Felgrand from my other rank 8. You don't overlay a lot. Well, I haven't been anyway. So I've chosen not to play any more rank 8s so I can make room for 1 Drago Sack, 1 Big Eye. Yeah, you got to, especially if you're playing the Daddy Dragons and Copy Plant. I'm playing 1 Lavalval Chain. It's been fixing a lot of bad hands, especially if he floats, like I summon him, he floats, and I have another one of him, or a Copy Plant, or a Debris Dragon, or something else. Popping into him and just going into whatever I need, or putting something on top to excavate something else, it helps a lot. I'll probably end up dropping the Lavalval Chain, more than likely instantly, as soon as Primal Origins comes out. You just don't need to be going into rank 4s. But I do have a Star Eater, Shooting Star Dragon. I don't go Quasar. It's just not as consistent in this build. You can do it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, of course, it's possible, but this is easy. I do this at least half my games, every single time. Crimson Blader, you gotta play it. Scrap Dragon, Stardust Dragon, Black Rose Dragon. Vulcan the Divine, I really wanted to play a rank 6. I did not and do not play a rank 6 that Debris Dragon can play. I might actually take out the Lavalval Chain for a rank 6, or a level 6, I'm sorry. Lavalval Chain for a level 6, like Orient Dragon. Orient Dragon would have solved a lot of my problems in a couple of duels that I had this past week. But Vulcan the Divine is great. It reuses your Dead Call the Haunteds. You can almost always reuse Dead Fiendish Chains, the Miracle Fertilizers. After you special summon monsters, you can bounce the Miracle Fertilizer, so that way when those monsters leave the field, the Fertilizer doesn't die. You can also bounce your field spell. There's a lot of things you can do with him, and I love making him when the opportunity presents itself. I do not play the Librarian because I'm not playing Quasar. I'm playing Armades and Cataster. Armades is great in that Mermail matchup. It's great in a lot of things. Cataster, and then a Formula Synchron, of course. So that's what I've got going on right now. Let me know what you guys think down below about how I've developed Sylvans so far. Make sure you check out my Sylvan discussion. I have tons of stuff over there. I've done a lot of Noble Knight discussions. I love that deck as well. Mermails are old news. I did Mermails a lot when they were brand new as well. That's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to be talking about, we had Fun Deck Friday at my locals just this recently, and I'm going to talk about the funny 8 decks that topped there. I was actually playing this, and I topped. I got 4th, so it's okay. But shoutouts to Nico for getting first with Raccoons, motherfucking Raccoons. But other than that, guys, comment down below. Let me know what you guys are doing with Sylvans. Like the video. Check out the rest of the content on my channel. And thanks for always being great followers and great fans, guys. Peace. Who's